Hi, so I'm just going to go through the belt change on, this is a 2021 Polaris Ranger XP NorthStar Crew Ultimate. I have to make sure I get all the parts of the name in. Anyway, so this is something that anybody who has a belt-driven bike, side-by-side like this one, this is something that you can and are easily able to do yourself, and it'll save you the cost and the time of taking it to a dealer or a repair shop to have this done for you. So I'm just gonna go through this as quick as I can. And so the first parts I've skipped for the video. That involves removing the outer cover, the belt cover. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you don't lose track of the seal that's in the inner edge of the cover. So sometimes that'll stick to the inner cover, and you want to make sure that you take it and you put it back in the groove the way it was put on the belt cover. So usually you can tell that through witness marks. So you can see on this one how there's a little bit of a dirty edge, and you'll see on the inner cover that the edge is pretty sharp. All that yellow part, it's not sharp, but it's narrow, and you'll be able to easily see how that one side of it is not shaped to that yellow edge on the inner cover. One thing that I also do, I usually take off the airbox cover, just because it gives me a little bit more wiggle room to be able to remove this. Now there is a little bit of a way to be able to get that cover off, and I'll check to see for sure, but it may be you might find that in your owner's manual. But usually if you just use a little bit of, put your thinking cap on, there is a way to wiggle that out of there without damaging it in any way or anything like that. So we get these two parts off, all the bolts that hold it on. And now you're into your belt. So first thing, all of these bikes, as far as I know, come with, if you go up here to the front of the bike, and we'll open up the door. I've dug the owner's manual for this one in the toolbox, the little tool pouch out of the dash compartment. And this is the little tool you're going to use. So we're going to go back to the back of the bike. And once I get back here, I'm just going to stick my phone in my little tripod here, I hope, without messing anything up too much. There we go. And all we're going to do is we're going to go in here, and you're going to find the threaded hole in the driven clutch, and you're going to insert that tool, and you're just going to make sure that it threads in easily, because you don't want to thread it into dirt and junk that's going to make it so you strip the hole out or anything like that. So sometimes you might want to take, if you have a little compressed air gun, you're just going to want to go in there if it's dusty or anything like that, and blow that hole out and make sure those threads are cleaned up. So I've already done that ahead of time. So we're cheating here a little bit. So all I ever do is you're just going to tighten that in just until I see that belt is not really moving anymore. So we got enough room between the sheaves. All we're doing is spreading those clutch sheaves apart, and I usually take it off the bottom side, and you just sort of work it up around, and you can turn the clutch a little bit, and then you pull the belt off. And hopefully you've been able to see all this. My shoulder hasn't been in the way too much. And you're going to get that belt off the front of that drive clutch. And that's how you take the belt off. It's as simple as that. So then we're going to grab the new drive belt, and generally, as a rule, you want to put that new drive belt on so you can read the writing, the numbers, and all that stuff. So what I would say for sure is if you take a belt off and it's the bike was brand new and the belt was turned the other way around, and you take it off and the belt is okay, then I would put the belt on the same way that you found it when it was taken off. But when you're putting a new belt on, brand new, never been on the bike, put it on this way, because that's usually the correct way to put it on. So we're just going to thread this up around that drive clutch. so that we can get enough slack to go between our sheaves again, up on the driven. And we're just going to work that belt around again. And sometimes you got to loosen things up a little bit more because it doesn't quite fit. There. And once you get the belt up in, you can back out your tool. And you get a choice here. You can either back it out all the way all at one time, or you can back it out a little bit at a time and turn the driven clutch to be able to work the belt back up on the sheaves. It's just as easy just to do it all at once. And then you just turn your belt, turn your drive clutch. And all you want to do is you're just getting that belt so it's back up into the top of the sheave, so that when you first start the bike out, it's not a great big smuck for the belt and climbing back up the driven clutch sheave and the sheave closing up. So anyway, that's pretty. It's pretty straightforward, and that's pretty much what's involved in putting a new drive belt on this side by side, and pretty much all these NorthStars and Rangers that use these this kind of clutch setup. Anyway, have a great day.